Rob Wise Guy 82 here. This is going to be pull list video for New Comic Book Wednesday for November 28th, last Wednesday of the month. So we're also going to have the awesome previews catalog to check out too, even though I haven't done that in a while. Okay, so November 28th, got some good stuff. Got another issue of Strangers in Paradise from Terry Moore. It's been great. Number 8. And then Beyonders I've heard good things about, but I'm not reading it, even though sounds pretty awesome. This first Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Terror, I was not the biggest fan of issue 1. There's 2 or 3 stories in it, but I will get it for the cover. Star's End, a new one from Antarctic Press. It's been getting some buzz about it. 6,000 years ago, the Anunnaki visitors to Earth departed with numerous animals as subjects for study and DNA experiments. Centuries in the future, these evolved beasts, collectively known as Naki, I guess we'll just say Nanaki, have created vast civilizations in the Sirius system, with humans serving as their worker bees. One group of Naki are given a pre-graduation duty: scan a mining world of human workers that's fallen victim to a viral infection before the planet is demolished to stop the disease from spreading. But when a 16-year-old Anunnaki girl turns up, the mission quickly becomes anything but routine. Some of you guys may not know, the Anunnaki is it's kind of a real, is it a conspiracy theory type thing? But it goes back to like Sumerian tablets, you know, some weird engravings, things that we can't quite that we don't know how they knew these things. There are like 6,000, and this is real. You can see documentaries on this. There are, I think, like 6,000-year-old tablets that like have the correct order of our 9 planets. Just very strange things. There's evidence of them knowing about the solar system, which obviously they would have no way whatsoever of knowing anything about. They didn't have telescopes, they didn't have any of that stuff back then. So that's where we get the Anunnaki, which are visitors. A lot of people say they're the ones that helped build the pyramids, because we don't technically exactly know how that happened. A lot of things like that, so this is really interesting. There's another book that just came out called Conspiracy, the Illuminati. They play into that type of conspiracy stuff too, with like the Denver airport and things like that. So we'll be checking that out. They also have a Virgin cover of that, so look out for that. So this right here, they're not going to show us. Alright, so hold on one second, guys. I should have already had this up. Because you got to see this. There's an awesome Tula Lotte cover. You guys know she's one of my favorites, goddesses of the industry. Let's see if we can get it real quick. Was that Black Mask? Here we go. Oh yeah, check that out. Ah. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright. back to here. And then there's just a bunch of other nonsense coming out from Black Mask, which is quite a shame because they had some great books. But they are, for all intents and purposes, the Antifa of the comic industry. And I won't abide by that fascist, socialist nonsense. Boom Studios got a few things. Coda, number 7 of 12. There's going to be another cover, but it's just showing this one when we click on it. And the other site doesn't have one either. So check that out. I don't know why the Sienkiewicz cover for Firefly is on there for this week, but there's that. Maybe it didn't come in for some companies or something. Okay, so this I am super excited about, and I'll have to get it somewhere else because my shop's not getting it. But this is Labyrinth. Labyrinth Under Spell, number 1. I think, let's see. All new collection of never before seen stories from Jim Henson's beloved fantasy classic Labyrinth, including the secret history of Sir Didymus and the vow he once made to guard the bridge over the bog of eternal stench. So that I believe it's $7.99, so watch out for that too. Yeah, $7.99. But this is the one you gotta watch out for, guys, because this is a Jeremy Bastian, and this doesn't do any justice. But all around there is so much detail. It's insane. And let's see. And everybody, if you've seen the movie, all these little characters look perfect. Bluto. Down. Hoggle. Everybody. So good. Okay. Alright, so let's get off of that. And then we've got, oh, this one was cool too, so let's show it. Awesome detail on that with Bluto and Sarah. Bluto down. Alright, so that's it for Boom. Then we've got nothing from them. We got a new vampire, zombie tramp. I'm not getting that one, I get the other one. Got a library edition for Black Hammer. Stranger Things number 3 of 4. There's a few covers. They all look decent. I'll probably pick the one that I want when I'm there. Volume 1 of Sword Daughter, that was awesome. She Brightly Burns. That's what the first volume is called. Looks good. It doesn't look like we're getting any more David Mack covers for Action Comics, so I'm not going to be getting that. Aquaman Justice League Drowned Earth number 1. I don't know, we'll see. Like flashes like a claw right there. What the hell is that all about? A lobster claw. You see that? Oh, I'm going to get a couple of these. This is incredible. Joshua Middleton, just an amazing Batgirl cover. I mean, just absolute works of art. Can't wait to get that. Books of Magic number 2. The first issue was really awesome. Yeah, it's just that one, House of Whispers, that I don't really like. I'll get the Mark Brooks cover for Detective Comics, $9.93. Man, we're getting close. $9.93. Heroes in Crisis. I'll get the Clay Mann cover. I don't like the other file ones that they've been doing, but that looks awesome. How cool is that? Hex Wives was a bust, but I'm sure they'll keep coming out with it. Old Lady Harley. Scarlet, number 4 of 5 I'll be getting. Pretty generic cover. Not my favorite, but I'll still get it. Thought there was another one of Yasmin Putri, because she has just been crushing it. Let's see. Titans. Yeah, I love her style, man. That's a great looking cover. There's our previews, number 363. Oh, they're not going to show us. Looks like we got a director's cut of Black Mass coming soon. Red Sonja, Vampirella Deja Thoris. Nah, that's one of the other covers from a couple weeks ago. That sucks they do that sometimes, but they're just not caught up, I guess. TMNT Macro Series number 3. Awesome David Peterson Leonardo cover. Only a couple from Image. Die 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 number 5. This has been pretty good. That's right, they haven't been showing us the covers. Redneck number 17, still going strong. Donnie Cates, or as Mike Spider Slayer says, Donnie Gates. That's just being fun though. Being funny, not making fun. Regression still going strong. Creepy as Hell book from Cullen Bunn. I think what makes that book even better, Regression, guys, if you didn't know, it has a lot to do with like hypnotizing and regression and past lives and things like that. And in the back of the first issue, there's a little essay from Cullen Bunn talking about how his dad was a hypnotist and things like that. So he knows a lot about that. So I thought that was really awesome, and it just brings an extra layer into the book, which is really cool. The Warning number 1. I'll give this a shot. Let's see, it says, an enormous machine slowly materializes in a major West Coast city. Who sent it and why is a mystery, understood only by the malevolent beings gliding silently towards Earth through the inky vastness of space. In response, a multinational combat brigade called Gladiator 26 is deployed, outfitted with next-generation military science and weapons. They're tasked with stopping an extraterrestrial threat that emerges. Seems kind of interesting. We'll see what that first issue is like. Edward LaRoche looks to be the creator. I'll have to look out for this right here. This is one of my one of the manga that I really love. Nekogahara Stray Cat Samurai. I love it. This is volume 5. I think I've got the first 3. I got to get 4 and 5. Awesome. In medieval Japan, a bell hanging on the collar is a sign that a cat has a master. Norachio's bell hangs from his katana sheath, but he is nonetheless a stray, or a ronin. This one-eyed cat samurai travels across a dishonest world, cutting through pretense and deception with his blade. It is so much fun, especially if you're a cat fan. We got some Marvel. Hopefully be able to get this Sienkiewicz. Although I've been having a hard time with Marvel lately, I've been finding a lot of these creators, artists, and writers that I really like are just really not the best people. They're talking about, if you guys know, I mean, a lot of us do, with Comicsgate, and then, you've got Richard C. Meyer, or Diversity in Comics, people trying to say that he's racist and sexist and homophobic and this and that, when really it's just a guy on there flipping through a comic book and giving his opinion on it. And let's just remember, you're calling someone who has a Muslim daughter and a half Hispanic son, and who has done 3 tours in Iraq for us. This is the person that you're calling racist, sexist, homophobic. You've got creators that have tweeted out wishing that he was killed in an IED explosion, and then other creators doubling down on that and backing that sentiment up. And then we've got, Bill Sienkiewicz is one of the creators that talks a lot of shit about Comicsgate, and then now Jeff Lemire, and a lot of these guys are supporting this horrible behavior going on, and for the older creators, it is like Bill Sienkiewicz and Jeff Lemire. He's not older, but some of these guys, it's real easy to see that the only reason they're doing this is so they don't get caught up. So they're going along with this nonsense that obviously starts from the top of Marvel. It's, if we've got a trans character, we got to have a trans writer. It doesn't matter how much experience they have, got to have a trans writer. Even going so far as to hiring someone to write Riri Williams just because she looks like Riri Williams. It's absolutely ridiculous. They have no experience. If they write a blog on Tumblr or Twitter, then that's all the experience it seems that they need. And I think that, creators like Bill Sienkiewicz and Jeff Lemire, I think, are just towing the line. I don't think that, and if not, then they have not watched any of his videos. They hear one person say, hey, he's a racist. They don't go any further than that, and then they just repeat it. Seems very blatant, and if that's not the case, then they're just towing the line so that they don't lose their jobs, so that they don't get called a racist and a sexist. And to me, that's just as bad. Let me know if you guys feel differently, but I've been trying to keep up on this, and I don't like what I see. I hope Mark Waid really gets what's coming to him, and yeah, guys, I don't see how you can support this nonsense going on. When you simply have somebody going through a comic book, and if it's a trash comic book, he says it. If it's a great comic book, he says it. Why do you got to bring race into it? There's no reason for it. Just like anybody who says Trump is racist, okay, well, show me the evidence. There is none. You can't show it. All you're doing is repeating nonsense that you heard instead of verifying it for yourself. That's sad, and yeah, I don't know. That was a pretty good rant, so let's just move on. Dead Man Logan. I think I'm going to try to get this Hildebrandt cover. And I think Ed Brisson is another one that came out against it, talking shit about how comic skaters are a piece of shit and this and that, how they don't want, if you support Comicsgate, then we don't want you as customers or something like that. So, a lot of these creators are doing that, and it's gonna start. We're gonna start listening. I'm gonna start listening. It's gonna be no Marvel whatsoever coming up soon, and they're making it like that. It's yeah. Never mind. Let's just move on. Sorry, guys. I know that was a lot of ranting. I apologize. So, well, I don't really apologize, but Greg Hildebrandt. Here, let me move this over. This looks like an awesome painted cover. Look at that. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, Greg Hildebrandt. He's awesome. All right. So we'll get a couple of those Old Man Logan. I would love to get this Ironheart #1 Stephanie Hans cover, but unfortunately my shop is not going to get enough of Riri Williams. I believe it's a 1 in 25. And then Return of Wolverine #2. I don't know, man. I just don't know how I feel about this. It's been okay, but they really do need to get Wolverine out of the P.F. Chang's waiter uniform, because that just really bothers me. That is a stupid, stupid design, and whoever came up with that should be fired, in my opinion. Spider-Girls #2, another Yasmin Putri, who's awesome. Yeah, she's got an awesome style. This was the other one, Gang Hyuk Lim. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Oh man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this, but if it's available, I'll have it. That looks pretty awesome. Oh, you know what? Am I tripping, guys? Did we not look at... Here, real quick. We didn't look at this Jenny Frison. Yeah. Beautiful Jenny Frison cover. And this is, you know, so this is now has, because Jenny Frison, obviously, we know that she put in a couple of bucks towards Mark Waid's fund. So it's her doing covers, and then G. Willow Wilson, who is just a despicable excuse for a woman, writing the story now. So that's, I mean, what the hell am I going to do? How can I justify when you have, I don't know, man. What do I do? I mean, obviously what I should do is stand on my morals. If that's, you know, if that's really how I feel about them, you know, why would I support them? Man, why do they got to do that? Why can't they just shut the hell up, create amazing stories, and not castigate their fans? I mean, what the fuck? It really sucks. And then we've got a #1 Monarchs from Scout Comics. I don't know about this. Let's see. Welcome to the planet Vita, a euphoric haven of resources. Let's see. The sentient race inhabiting Vita depends... let's see. The sentient race inhabiting Vita depend of the strict... maybe that's... let's see. Depend of the strict leadership of their rulers for guidance. Depend on the strict leadership. Alright, whatever. 4 young geniuses are tasked with discovering an institution... Oh my god. Alright, so now I'm just having a hard time here. 4 young geniuses are tasked with discovering and instituting an ideal method of leadership to make this the utopian society that the inhabitants wish to create. A simple experiment becomes an epic story of war, discovery, good old-fashioned bragging rights, and the answers to the question of what makes a leader. Do we need leaders? And if we didn't, what would happen to the world without them? Alright, that sounds like it could be some nonsense, so I don't know about that. We'll see. Monstrous from Source Point. When Dr. Frankenstein's creature was not the life he'd hoped to construct, he turned his efforts towards robots, artificial men who would obey orders. The creature sought out Frankenstein's secrets of life and death to manufacture more monsters like himself, but he could not control his creatures any more than his creator could. Thus began an era of monsters. Now a battle for control sweeps across the land. When a monster kills a little girl's father, she seeks revenge by hiring an even tougher monster. The two of them face steam-powered robot cops and undead monster gangsters, but when they find the criminal they're hunting, the results are monstrous. So we'll see. Maybe I'll at least get. I'd like to get the first issue for these Source Point comics. They got a great quality, if nothing else, and a lot of them have been selling for over cover price. So if you're interested in that, maybe grab one and see if you could sell it. Waxworks Comics. This is House of Waxworks, an anthology series that's been pretty great in my opinion. I'm excited for this one. And then that should be it. Alright, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there through my ranting a little bit. I'd love to know what you guys think of the situation, because, you know, unfortunately, fortunately, you know, all the information on what these books sell is out there. So, you know, they keep shoving books that sell 9,000 copies in our faces. Then, I mean, how far are they going to go? I mean, is it going to be down to 5,000 copies to where they keep printing these books? I mean, how bad does it have to get? Yeah, it's too much of the identity politics. It's too much of the, oh, well, if you don't like Kim and Kim, you're transphobic. Oh, if you don't like Black Panther, you're racist. No. Maybe it's just shitty writing. Maybe it's just shitty art. But it can't be that. No, we can't say anything bad about anybody who's a different race or who's not the same gender as I am. No, we can't have opinion about that, right? I'm just a cis white male, so I'm like the low man on the totem pole, right? Nobody gives a shit about what I have to say. Yeah, that's not gonna fly, guys. You don't build one person up by tearing down somebody else. That's not how you make up for anything. It's absolutely ridiculous. And all you do is have me once again ranting in a video, and it's time to stop. So anyways, guys, this was my pull list for November 28th. Boy, I feel like kind of a schizophrenic in this video, right? Going from high, low. All right, we'll leave it there, guys. Peace, love, and schizophrenia. God bless.